Yanko Dr. Bamu Bawumia and Semna Okafa one laptop per student. Policy they are coming to roll it out this particular year.
Semester.
Yeah, this particular year. I'm for reactions the baby. Omo reacting no doors, especially on social media. But Yanko Parliament, na a member of the Education Committee of Parliament, entering a year and come on this particular policy. A year abenso wade eba. Dr. Clement Apaak, a year Ahmano Esum. Obayinka say good morning.
Many are Joso, Michia, one of our pound for, a chair, a tear for an usher for, a Michia, Miniaba, on our enemy.
Nana
who watch you?
Tama feel say you remember Parliament.
You better convene on the 6th. I know about.
Yo, Doc. Weekend I say weekend news na echo out na dossier pa send off no nya ne ade wo ho na ne be henye mu a eno ema atwe attention efi send off any presidential opening for flag bearer hopefuls in the party no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the vice president was say Abai eba beruli out policy ya beche secondary school ni akola bia free laptop no so no ebe textbooks ene de beguso ena afenso past questions no ne niama hodo a materials eboa enkola no ewom classroom ena wode eba. This must be a piece of good news for Ghanaian students.
Yo me da say ordinarily no adepa say Yebeka se yepese yede nyoma tutu akwemu abema adusua aya kono na atumi akoso 13. But the vice president cannot say the Okayana. It raises a number of questions. But first of all, Mamin Kansiso said the entire Yang in NDC, and myself in particular, many issue with that proposal or concept necessary. It is something that we also had in our 2020 manifesto. And we said that we will provide students and teachers with free laptops, free tablets, loaded with relevant content to facilitate teaching and learning. And the concept is a laudable one. And if they have decided to do it, that's a sikano ayedea. But the question is, where are they going to get the resources? Sikano omo free their finance program no. Because we have about more than 1.3 million students in our secondary school system as we speak. And as a member of parliament on education committee, Minim said this was never a proposal that came from the ministry or came from government to any other committee of parliament. It is not in the budget. So where are they going to get the money from to finance this policy? And the lack of laptops, and the problem now are free senior school policy and the implementation. It is not an issue of laptops. And whilst we are not opposed to the concept, as I indicated earlier, manifesto, we must call on government to address the immediate pressing issues first. When you say IMF, the report now they buy no. Oma can send back community and the afa ungumasuyaho. Saba about secondary school, I'll say the flagship program, Free Senior High School, which covers the full course of secondary education, has helped increase enrollment, but is poorly targeted. For education in general, no, as Ghana spends close to 4% of GDP on education with good results in terms of enrollment, but poor learning outcomes. And this is when you have very serious issues. So, Obroni Eka say poor learning outcomes, sir. And only just say Sika, yadi share at the Mumasri Mono. The Enya Free Mono. A touchma. We are not getting commensurate output. So, what government should be doing is to focus on addressing the basic issues. Pay school feeding caterers so that they will go back and cook for awards in basic schools. Mudu onka arrears. Muntriaye. What was the affair? Nkofo amako mu akoba bosia efri nioma anu aduane ama nkwara na omo tata won. Omo say 97 persons no enso enton kosua na ye aduane ntimuntum enko 3 series 50 persons. We should be looking at addressing that. 2, capitation grant. Higher 10 cities per people. When they sika headmasters of basic schools, like they are taught chalk, attendance, books. Na se nkonyane bi gogoa ya pe carpenter amana be siesie. Puno na se puma bi bua na ya pe carpenter. Ye dey mock exams, PE, cultural activities. And then I say for 2 years, Muntia capitation grant capeba. It is affecting teaching and learning at the basic level. Textbooks, important learning material. As I say, I buy into me entry publishers, any printers, ne can intino. Kitwana, omo printing yano. And no machiche. Into schools no do across Ghana. And any textbooks based on the new curriculum 4 years after the introduction of the curriculum. Then you come to secondary school. Many who say, you know, say when you're say buffer stock food suppliers. Say abandon the omoka 18 months. Omuntuae. And it's Oma in Tria 14 days from Friday. They are going to picket on their demonstration. They were the offices of Ghana Food Buffer Stock Company. And Apaak said they will no longer supply food to the secondary schools. Unim said program no free senior school is supposed to cover ICT and library fees. Since 2017, Aban Enyi Kapeba 1 city Emma school bia to cover the cost of library and ICT. We still have the problem of an erratic academic calendar. And Kwarano ko school a wamun cheno mokofi no makoche ofie na omaba. Ukoka so omo tro wasia womutwa. Hwe the amount for him say since the advent of COVID, what's in our Yankora Natural is customized for only Ghanaian students. It is not a West Africa wide WASI. When you say that you have had this many A's, you have no basis to compare yourself with Gambia and Nigeria. And as the IMF is talking about, and many of us know, I am in a year for review. Your mom for review. Professor Adem Mensah, Professor Ite, Professor Odro, Africa Education Watch, even NAGRAT, CHAS, Catholic Church, Presbyterian Church, Ubia for review, no, is because of the implementation challenges bedeviling the program. And you know, the laptops loaded with academic content, you know, is not the issue. It is not the problem that should be solved now. Is the point I am making. So let's do the needful before we do what we think is necessary.
Quick 2 questions. Now, I wanted to know, as you were saying, say, IMF in their report are saying say free SHS no any performance no papa. In your statement, Wawaka said the result is showing something different. How did IMF arrive at that particular conclusion? They are talking in your statement now say is in your manifesto, as in NDC manifesto. We have these problems. Whether it was going to be progressive, we still had problems. Schools under trees, your school education system no issues that. But it found like NDC wants to implement this laptops. I know Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia say he started new academic now or the beko. Notwithstanding the challenges, no, as you said, it's not a bad policy. Why would you then object and say go and pay into the books, no, laptops, no, why? Because according to Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, say education ministers and our culture and say, oh, they call it means it's there.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm about to say them this time.
My two questions, no. Let's begin with the last question. Sir, medical kind, we are not opposed to the concept and the principle. If they can get the resources to do it, fair and good. But I also have to raise the other challenges to demonstrate, say, yeah, the laptops no more and that does not mean that the situation is going to change. Because challenge is about
laptops
and I said nipa no when did I obey this there. And I said when did I want to be there. So what I'm saying is that under the conditions, we have to prioritize. And the argument I'm making is that while it is a good idea, to me, it is not the immediate need. That should not be prioritized over all the other issues. The program and its implementation. So that's the point I am making. If they can solve all of these problems at once, anyhow.
Maybe say we had these problems when not free SH issues, but education itself had its own problems. Notwithstanding, NDC wanted to implement a laptop, which found itself in a manifesto with all these problems there already. Meaning, although there are problems, I did bet me abo education. I left it to me abo amadisua so aba srono, and also and Kenya bad na.
We would have addressed these problems because some of these problems are unique to government policy. Because first of all, Abanya Neka said PTAs, you should play a background role. It is the same government that decided with the implementation of the policy. Say, Kaninanka in Mianeno, headmasters Nana, almost suppliers at the local level to procure, they are going to centralize it from Accra through the Ghana Food Buffer Stock Company. So some of the problems are unique to the Free Snare School and its implementation. That would suggest that if we were in power and we were doing it our way, some of these problems would not have existed. So it cannot be holistic. Say the same problems today would have existed if we had introduced our progressively free.
His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama is saying he would not abandon it. He would even expand it. Private schools no crowd bet me benefited from this free SHS, although I admit say it's bedeviled with some challenges which government is also I admit to say yes, program we are being introducing, there will be challenges. Now, with this current situation we find ourselves, this new manifesto by the NDC expanding it, I don't know. As in
manifesto now 2020 manifesto. 2020. So that is what we were intending to do. And that's why I'm saying, sir, that is only one of several issues that we wanted to do as our way of addressing the implementation challenges. We are going to bring the private schools on board to help with the delivery of the policy. we're going to introduce this one teacher, one student, one teacher tablets. And we were not going to do it for only secondary school. We're going to do it all across. Was it? And I say, IMF, dream for any kind and the Korea do baby. We would not have borrowed in excess of 500 billion with an oil revenue of almost 800 billion. With all those monies, we could have done all of this. In a different way. But to your first question, no, you were talking about quality. The point I'm making is that the quality and as output, is not determined by just exam results. And the IMF is fully aware of that. And that is why they are talking about poor learning outcomes.
You determine a quality of a school educational program. What do you use as a yardstick?
Exam is one, but the competence of the person who has taken the exam in your ability to survive at the next stage, is the best standard. And I know as a former lecturer, so most of my colleagues at the universities, some are agitating for an entrance exam. I know for a fact, and we Mumbisa Minister Nankasa, now Mumbisa Dr. Ade, National Teaching Council, that when they came to the Parliamentary Subcommittee on Education, didn't the NTC propose that we give them 7 million Ghana cedis to initiate an entrance exam into training colleges? Mumbisa said, that proposal. They told us that there were challenges with the caliber of persons who enter our training colleges to be trained as teachers, which has to do with quality and output. And the point I'm making is that it is not about getting 8 ones and 9 ones. If you are more universities, any other tertiary institutions, and they are struggling to cope.
Right.
So there is an issue that Atochima, and we have to work on it. And that is why the IMF talks about poor learning outcomes.
I started with this free SHS, right?
Nasa, asem na ba na edi hunkomo.
Mami, so you are then saying
that yes, the entrance exam about training college and as a university.
Finally, Mami Mbisa, my final question is: so you believe for Vice President propaganda with the him saying laptops the laptops in the school with beginning of this academic year now, because you are saying it's not in the budget, it's not coming from the ministry. You think he's just saying it?
So I have not said that but baby I mean say o make me akofa sika e dey program no eni ho say ye twasika bi ato ho but dey bia omuni baby o make akofa sika na free. We don't know that. So I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. If it can be done, as I said, I don't have a problem with that. But that is not the most pressing issue as far as secondary education or education is concerned.
Doc, okay, about the most pressing issue. I want to sort small your suggestion on what are these pressing issues. I also say from number 1, it must be this. 2, it must be that. 3, it must be that, and not provision of laptops.
Menka said not provision of laptops. What I'm saying is that there are pressing issues that also
there are
need to be
pressing
addressed.
Issues, far more pressing than the provision of laptops.
Yes.
Say maybe one more. I say yeah, laptop in the bed fine, but something is pressing. What kind of pressing issues? What are these pressing issues?
And number 1, school feeding caterers and the cost of feeding our wards in basic schools. Mampini Dada Akufo Ede school feeding program ne baye. The program is intended, one, to address short-term hunger. Say nkorani bi baby omu free no awofo no omu ni bi nti osore a ekomde no nti anu nti no wonko school mpo na ebi a ogina kwan ho se oton bibi nti se ye ka se ye aduane free e wo school a ono so no ye ka se wonko school a na aye na kono. So the program is supposed to increase enrollment and bring about retention. Nti asa say aduane no wo ho nti no enkora ne beko omo conscious on him say ade china so ba obenya aduane dia de bia obeden obeko school. So the purpose of the program was to provide one hot nutritious meal a day intended to increase enrollment and to ensure retention. The neya omako strike almost 4 weeks. Omunwa enuane no. It is affecting retention. Intermediate said that is an immediate matter, that they should pay the school feeding caterers and also increase the fee from the 97 pesos to 350 pesos. Second most critical issue, capitation grant. That is Sika Eko, heads of public basic schools and chain. It is because of the capitation grant that we can say that public basic education is free, because that is what they use to buy chalk. That is what they use to buy attendance registers. That is what they use to fix weak furniture, to maintain weak structures in our for PE, any cultural activities, any mock exams. So as I say, it has become a very big challenge affecting teaching and learning at the basic school level. So that's 2. 3 is the lack of textbooks. Say you introduce a new curriculum. Now 4 years down the line, not every student in a public school in Ghana has access to the textbooks based on the new curriculum. And the reason is simple. Yeah, the publishers, any printers, so these are 3 important issues that I can readily speak to that I believe are affecting teaching and learning that should demand immediate attention. So 600 million na banana on BTB, they should go ahead and do it.
Dog, after Matuase, watch the things you deem them so pressing and that it must be looked at.
I said not a question.
Oh, I said, I don't know the society mamo. Question an echo.
Falling to us a muide.
Said here.
Oh, I got to.
No, maybe anyone is in the choir.
I got an idiot.
The entire Yajina Queen free no why I am in. I don't like him. And you'll be to me as own to me in a view. And the other question on the echo.
Ciao.
Oh, by all means. Say, who don't say how far?
That's a part no paid you Wadaji. Our near Namukona on Shroud. And repem being here, best about how Adaroma, then no but
Modi Marco, I mean, never from Quantino. Anytime we friend there. But my family and about studio.
I'm being here, pa.
You're on the Dawson, you're on the Dawson. Yeah,
Dr. Apaak, a member of the Education Committee of Parliament, Ghana, and I know Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Okase Abano, Afia Wumi, Baba Shase, and my secondary school Nibia laptop, na umudi esuade, and Humani Nyama, ye usu school editor on my adiano, content uminano, ye di Babe good laptop so na edia mom na Omoja Buka. You use no classroom, yeah, better to know near Kankan. Dr. Apaak, a member on also of the Education Committee, to say, Sadden, and who be here, dear, Nessia Padi, ye won yama, a pre attention, also abandoning a cohomum, na laptops and the idea.